Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to Oval and Out, recording from the dugout at the Kia Oval after it started to rain on the outfield as we first tried to do it, and it's now bright sunshine again, which tells you something, Dan, about the sort of day that we have had here in South London. Numbers first, though, before I start pinging you with some questions. The day started with Surrey 276 for 2, a lead of 274. They moved that on to 291 for 8, highlight of that by far. Beautiful century from Dom Sibley, who came back out after retiring hurt in the second innings to end 103 not out. For Warwickshire, Michael Booth took 4 for 58. Warwickshire then came at it and without a huge degree of intent, but secured their wickets nicely. Didn't give anything away. Ended up 105 for 1. Tom Laws took the 1 wicket for 25 runs. The match was drawn. Without knowing the meteorological conditions that afflicted us here in Kennington today, you may think that that wasn't too much of a day, and you'd be right, because there were a number of different rain showers, including one particularly virulent one in the middle of the afternoon that essentially destroyed any possibility of a result given the amount of play that was lost yesterday. So the match was drawn. Surrey take 11 points from the game and are now 1 point clear of Nottinghamshire at the top of the Rothesay County Championship, with Nottinghamshire arriving in South London for the game of the season on Monday. I'm with Daniel Norcross, who commentated on the day today for the YouTube channel. My name, by the way, is John Surtees. I'm not sure I said that at the start. Daniel, today, your player of the day, please.
It's got to be Dom Sibley, hasn't it? We've seen some heroic efforts this season across the Test series, for example. And who can forget Rishabh Pant arriving in a boot at Old Trafford, or indeed Shoaib Bashir bowling England to victory at Lords with a broken hand, and then culminating, of course, in the last Test match here at the Oval when Chris Woakes made his sorry way down in a sling down these very steps. But today, Surrey's very own Dominic Sibley did much the same. Labouring with an injury, he came out and he completed his 4th ton of the campaign. He is the leading run scorer in the Rothesay County Championship Division 1, and he's been the mainstay of Surrey's batting. They will be very, very keen to patch him up and get him fit for Monday against Nottinghamshire.
Yeah, let's hope that's the case. No news on that at the moment. Let's hope that's the case, though, because he's a wonderful batter. He has been in glorious form this season, and those of us that have made a career out of watching Dom Sibley over the last 10 years, it's a beautiful thing to watch him continue to expand his repertoire and put on innings like he did today as his career continues. Daniel, this possibly a tricky one here for those of you that watched on the YouTube stream, but the moment of the day.
Well, I'm afraid it's all coming back to Sibbers.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's a moment. It's hard to distinguish between the 2 ramps over his head, full of improvisation, and a lot of people wrongly typecast Dominic Sibley as a rather stodgy batter, a kind of a one-dimensional anchor. Well, not a bit of it. He unfurled his T20 skills today as Surrey were looking to get a wriggle on. They were trying to get runs quickly in order to put Warwickshire in and have enough overs to bowl them out. It didn't work out that way, in part for 2 reasons. The weather that did cause a problem through yesterday and today, but also the pitch, which has done what it always does this season at the Oval. It's basically got easier and easier to bat on as the match has progressed. But nonetheless, that little moment, those little flurries from Dom Sibley, they did indeed gladden the heart.
Lovely segue into question 3. Daniel, what gave you joy today?
Dominic Sibley gave it. No.
There we go. Wonderful. Question 4. Give us something to talk about.
I was going to say Dominic Sibley, but I'm not going to. I'm going to mention the pitch because it's a pattern that's been continuing, and it just doesn't happen everywhere. But at the Oval this season, we've seen effectively the same kind of game unfold, and it got me thinking that in order to get a result, you might have to do some funky stuff, you know. If you win the toss and you get to bowl first, yeah, that's all well and good. You've got to bowl a side out. But the danger is that if you bat too long in the first innings, then your opponent comes in for their second innings, even if you've got a lead of 200 on a pretty placid deck.
So you're advocating for some Stuart Surridge-like innovation here. You know, if you look back to the last time Surrey were enjoying this level of consistent success, Stuart Surridge made some pretty aggressive captaincy decisions in a number of those games, famously pulling out behind on a few occasions, including one when we beat Worcestershire, I believe, in 1953. I want to say in less than a day of completed cricket. So you're advocating for some aggressive Surrey-esque captaincy.
Yeah, I mean, let me give you an illustration. Let's say you bowl a side up for 220 odd. You find yourself that night at around about 105 for 4. Next morning, just declare. Don't worry about the bonus points. Just get straight into them, because then will be able to bowl them out by tea. It's pretty much after tea on day 2 that things start to get a little bit easy. Then you're left with a target of around 300. You knock it off with 3 wickets down. Lovely jubbly. Whole game's done by halfway through day 3. Or express pace has got to be found from somewhere. I don't know. It's becoming a bit of an issue, and the reason why it could be an issue next week is because Surrey have a lead of just 1 point. So look, they may play it on the bonus points way. If they were to bowl Nottinghamshire out cheaply and then were able to get in, then they might look to get 4 or 5 batting points. That way, you could go into the final round of the season maybe 4 or 5 points ahead. But Surrey's problem is they're going to be playing away against Hampshire. Nottinghamshire will be at home against Warwickshire. So it's going to make for some interesting decisions next week, and it just makes that match all the more significant and all the more intriguing.
It's such a big game next week. I cannot wait. Gavin and Stacey, I, for one, cannot wait. So the final question on Oval and Out, we've sort of got into it already. I'm going to start answering it myself, and I'm going to see if you've got a take as well. But why should I tune in next week? I mean, why shouldn't you tune in next week? Surrey are going for 4 county championships in a row. They're 1 point clear. The team they're 1 point clear of is coming here to the Kia Oval to take us on. The game is going to be live on YouTube. It's also going to be live on Sky Sports Cricket. Our brilliant normal commentary team of men like yourself, Daniel, people like yourself and Adam Collins and Phil Walker and Yaz Rana, Cam Ponsonby will be augmented by former England captains and some of the finest people on the Sky Sports commentary roster. So it will be available still, do not fear, free to air on YouTube. It will also be on Sky Sports Cricket, which is a really great support from Sky and a really great opportunity for the Canny game to show its best on the big channel, which we're very excited by. Daniel, as if you need it, any other reasons why I should tune in next week?
Oh, well, yeah, because the icy chill of autumn is upon us, the dark, gloomy days of winter that will come to depress the heck out of all of us, and the fact that you're not going to be able to get your Oval fix again. No, not until possibly mid-April 2026. It's now. It's now or not for another 8 months. You'd be crazy not to tune in and join us. It should be fun.
My word, I can't wait till next week. We've got Friday, we've got the weekend. We'll be back here, 10:30, Monday morning, Surrey versus Nottinghamshire. I cannot wait. I know you can't wait. I'm John Surtees. This is Daniel Norcross. Over and out.